Obadiah 1, starting at 3. The pride of thine heart have deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord. I want to give all glory, honor, and praise to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah Ba'ashem, Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at GMS. Peace, honor, and respect to you brothers that's out there laboring, edifying, ready to divine the word in truth and sincerity. And shalom to you believers out there. So I want to play this video. And it's of this guy, Yuval Noah Harari. All right. And I believe he wanted the, 1948, the so-called Jews, the Jewish, all right, because we the real Jews, all right. But this guy is blatantly come out multiple times speaking against Yahweh, against Yahweh Shah, and what he is a representation of how the elites feel. Because basically he's a mouthpiece for the elites. So, that council of evil, that evil council that David and, Job was saying, hide me from. This is the guy who comes out and said, but this is really their representation. Okay. This is their mouthpiece, really. All right. You're not going to be in a council with them, hearing them talk like this. He's in the councils and he's voicing what he's heard in the councils that he be in. All right. So let me play this little clip.
So we can make God as angry as we like. I mean, he can stop the rains. We don't care. We still have water because science has managed to go way beyond the expectations of the ancient Hebrew. If you read really the Hebrew Bible, the Old Testament, it's all about agricultural production. It's about rain, it's about pestilence, it's about fertility. And now we are much better than the God of the Bible. I mean, in the Bible
you see? This guy comes out and he's very, very, but see, it's not just him. All right. Like I said, again, he's a representation of how the elites feel and what they're thinking. All right. So when you hear him talk, basically you're hearing what Esau Edom, the elites of Esau Edom, are thinking and what they're saying. Now, when you go to Proverbs 30 and starting at verse 13, it says, there's a generation, oh, how lofty are their eyes, and their eyelids are lifted up. There's a generation whose teeth are as swords, and their jaw teeth as knives, to devour the poor from off the earth, and the needy from among men. And that poor and needy is speaking about Israelites. Because see, we're at the bottom of the barrel. You see what I'm saying? We don't have a standing army. We don't have power to make legislations and laws. We're not sitting at the table at the Council of Foreign Relations. We're not at these elite meetings, throwing our opinions or throwing the laws of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah around, letting them know, like, no, this is what we need to do. We are the poor and needy. Okay? Let's continue.
we have these recurring droughts. That the people of Israel do something wrong, God's become, it's about pestilence, it's about fertility. And now we are much better than the God of the Bible. I mean, in the Bible, you have these recurring droughts. That the people of Israel do something wrong, God's become angry, drought, no water. And now Israel has built, in recent years, a huge desalinization factory on the shores of the Mediterranean. And most drinking water in Israel today actually come from these plants, from these factories. So we can make God as angry as we like. I mean, he can stop the rains. We don't care.
You see?
We still...
You see? This is how the elites, this is what they feel. Okay? This is what they're thinking. All right. Matter of fact, before that, let's go to Psalms 52. All right. Starting at verse 2, it says, "Thy tongue devises mischief like a sharp razor working deceitfully. Thou lovest evil more than good, and lying rather than to speak righteousness. Selah." All right. "Thou lovest all devouring words, O thou deceitful tongue. The Most High shall likewise destroy thee forever. He shall take thee away and pluck thee out of thy dwelling place and root thee out of the land of the living." See? And what did the Lord say? When it concerned Esau, Edom, he's going to take away what? Son and nephew. Matter of fact, since I said it, let's get it. I ain't had that really, ready to go. Yep, here we go. It's in the same chapter I was gonna go. So matter of fact, yeah, I'm gonna just get it. Cause I was gonna go here anyway. But I was gonna stop at 19. I'm gonna start at I'm gonna come back here too, but it says Isaiah 14, and I'm gonna start at 21. It says, "Prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers." See, and when you hear a lot of these Edomites say, "Well, slavery, I wasn't there and I didn't do it." Well, number one, it's a thing called reincarnation. Okay. And number two, you guys are living, just in case any Edomites, when I say Edomites, I mean so-called white people. You guys are living off of the blood, sweat, tears, and murder, rape, robbery of your forefathers, okay? And the blood, sweat, and tears of Israelites. This is why America is a superpower, because of Israel. When you have hundreds and hundreds of years of free labor, come on, man. So Isaiah 14, verse 21, and it's going to you so-called white people, "Prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise nor possess the land nor fill the face of the world with cities. For I will rise up against them, saith the Lord of hosts." Okay, saith Yahweh of hosts, "and cut off from Babylon the name and remnant and son and nephew, saith the Lord." Why is that? Because when you cut off the son and the nephew, you're cutting off men, and men have the seed. It don't matter how many women aren't. You can have 10 Edomite women, but if you don't have no Edomite men to reproduce with them, well, those Edomite women will never ever reproduce Edomites ever again. Okay, if you have no more Edomite men, but you got 5 Edomite women lagging around, well, if each one of them sleep with another man from another nation, since the man have the seed, those kids will come out being the man of that seed. Layman's terms, if you have a black man sleep with a white woman, that child will be black. If you have an Arab man sleep with a white woman, that child will be Arabic. If you have a Chinese man sleep with a white woman, that child will be Chinese. Okay, it might have Edomite features, it might be light skinned, it might even look like a white person, but it will not be in race, in nationality. Okay, so now going back, not to get too much off topic. All right, we gotta stay on Esau, on Yovel. All right, I ended off. I'm gonna start at Psalms 52. I'm gonna go to verse 5 again. "The Most High shall likewise destroy thee forever. All right, he shall take thee away and pluck thee out of thy dwelling place and root thee out of the land of the living. Salah. The righteous also shall see and fear and shall laugh at him. Lo, this is the man that made not the Most High his strength, but trusted in his abundance of his riches and strengthened himself in his wickedness." And that's what you hear when you listen to this guy who, again, I'm going to state, is the representation of Esau, Edom aristocrats, the aristocrats of the so-called white man, of the elites. All right. This is what they're thinking. This is what they're feeling. All right. So let me run this back one more time.
So we can make God as angry as we like. I mean, he can stop the rains. We don't care. We still have water because science has managed to go way beyond the expectations of the ancient Hebrew. If you read really the Hebrew Bible, the Old Testament, it's all about agricultural production. It's about rain, it's about pestilence, it's about fertility. And now we are much better than the God of the Bible.
You see? Again. Now let's go back to Isaiah 14. All right. Because this guy, but it ain't just him though. All right. We can't get mistaken that it's just him. All right. It's a council. Isaiah 14, starting at verse 12, it says, "How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? For thou hast said in thy heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High." See, and that's why Esau Edom goes up into space. That's what you would call putting his throne above the stars. Okay, ain't no telling what he got up there. I just actually, a friend of mine, she was reading something that said Elon Musk said that by 2050, I believe, it will be like 1 million people living on Mars. All right. So see, these are their councils. This guy is not just him. All right. He's the mouthpiece. All right. Verse 14, Isaiah 14, verse 14 again, "I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit." All right. They shall, and and I want to make this point, just in case somebody say, "Well, Lucifer, that's talking about the devil. That's talking about, the spiritual being Satan." Well, let's see what verse 16 say. "They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, Is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms, that made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of the prisoners?" And those prisoners are Israel. All right. You so-called natives. All right. Latinos and Negroes. All right. And we do, let me throw this disclaimer out there as well. We do have Israelites that look like the other nations. Okay. But yeah, see, the Lord is going to what? Bring thee down to hell, to the sides of the pit, man. And I hope this guy and everybody keep that same energy when Yahweh Shah pull up with Archangel Michael and the rest of the heavenly host, man.
In the Bible, you have these recurring droughts that the people of Israel do something wrong, God's become angry, drought, no water. And now Israel has built in recent years a huge desalinization factory on the shores of the Mediterranean. And most drinking water in Israel today actually come from these plants, from these factories. So we can make God as angry as we like. I mean, he can stop the rains. We don't care. We still have water.
This is a representation of the elites. But see, guess what's going to happen? Guess what their end is? All right. This is their end right here. And see, that mouth is going to be shut. When you go to Revelation 6, starting at verse 12, it says what? "And I beheld when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood, and the stars of heaven fell unto the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs, when she is shaken of a mighty wind. And the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out their places." Yeah, because it's set for 200 million missiles to hit this boy. Then you're going to have the chariots. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So verse 15, and the kings of the earth and the great men and the rich men and the chief captains and the mighty men and every bondman and every free man hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountain, and said to the mountains and the rocks, fall on us and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne and from the wrath of the Lamb. For the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? Nobody save the elect. Okay? Nobody. This is what they're going to be doing and saying, fall on us, hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath, and that is Yahweh, and from the wrath of the Lamb, and that's Yahweh Shah. But see, what's going to happen when this guy, unless he get took out early, you know, what's going to happen when this guy say that? All right, let's go to Amos chapter 9, starting at verse 2. What do it say? Though they dig into hell, and see, this for people who think hell is real. No, hell is a condition, number one. And when in this context, hell is underground. Okay, you can't dig and go to hell. All right. Though they dig into hell, thence shall mine hand take them. Though they climb up to heaven, thence will I bring them down. And see, heaven is referring to the sky and then outer space. Okay. Because you can't climb into heaven where Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai at, and you can't dig into so-called hell. All right. So verse 2 again, though they dig into hell underground, because they have underground bunkers, they have submarines and all of these things that we might not even know about. Okay. To hide because they know of nuclear destruction. Okay. They anticipating and have a feeling of things to come that they know that they got to run. Okay. Though they dig into hell, then shall my hand take them. See, though they climb up to heaven. All right. Remember again, sitting that throne in above the stars. Though they climb up to heaven, thence will I bring them down. And though they hide themselves in the top of Carmel, okay, I will search and take them out thence. And though they be hid from my sight in the bottom of the sea, thence will I command the serpent, and he shall bite them. See? See, this is their end. And meaning, no matter where they run, yeah, they might flee and they bunkers might work. But see, they going to go into captivity. They're going to be the first fruits of slaves. This guy Yovel and Klaus Schwab and all of them that you know, the Rockefellers and Rothschilds, they are the future slaves. Okay. Verse 4, and though they go into captivity before their enemies, thence will I command the sword, and it shall slay them, and I will set mine eyes upon them for evil and not for good. Right. And this is their end, man. Destruction, slavery, working hard under that rod of iron for 1,000 years till Esau, you no more, you out of here. So Lord willing, this is edifying. To the next lesson. Shalom.